Hello everyone, welcome back to my Hytale Let's Play. At the end of last episode, we unlocked the ability to craft this harvest trophy, but we're quite a ways from having enough materials for it. We need 100 of a lot of different things, which you'll notice that we went ahead and we gathered. The things that are going to take us the longest are the wool scraps and the poop and the white feathers. We've got some of these moss horn animals nearby, and we've got some cows nearby. So we just need to make some buckets and fill up our inventory to get these. But then we'll need to take some scissors around and go get the rest. We're slowly getting fish from our fish traps, but you'll notice that everything else we're doing a pretty good job on. And in order to make this much more resources, we ended up adding another field over here for crops and stuff. Been having a hard time keeping it planted, as there's so many plants to go through and do. At first I tried turning everything into eternal seeds, but I might focus on turning everything into eternal seeds later and just prioritize getting 100 of everything. I'm not sure if there's like a limit as to how many times you can milk a cow at one period, so we may not be able to get it all in one go. No, so you can't milk them right away. You gotta wait a second. But at least there's 4 of them, so it should still be pretty quick. And of course, all our adult cows have despawned. Can I not even ride the skeleton horse anymore? Just trying to give you an apple. Okay, he's useless. Sorry, I had to see that, kids. But that wasn't your mother, it was an imposter. Your mother, she's somewhere else. I'll go get her for you and bring her back. I've seen a bunch of horses out this way. Now, I don't know if they've obviously despawned or not. Okay, cool, a cow. I accidentally hit you. I'm so sorry. But thank you for still giving me the milk anyways. Now, I also need white feathers, which I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get white feathers from killing chicken. So, I'm obviously not going to kill my chicken. I need them to give me eggs. But if we come across, you know, any wandering lone chickens, they did. I don't see the horses anymore that were over this way. They must be gone now. Look at that majestic cow on the hill over there. Oh, that moss came from these guys. They like poop moss out. That's kind of nice. You could farm them. They're a farm animal, technically. I didn't know that. I just thought they were kind of like an interesting creature like the turkey. And you know what? I'll be honest. You baby animals are limiting my spawns for creatures that are actually cold-hearted, cruel. I know. But we're on a mission. They're just in my way. If you don't give me what I want, your spawns are taking away from valuable creatures. The babies never seem to despawn, like as if they should be my favorite. But they never grow up, and they never give me anything. And it prevents other things from spawning. Although I do feel absolutely dreadful doing this. They're so cute. and I'm just a mass murderer. Oh, chickens, white feathers. Do they not drop white feathers? What drops white feathers? Do I have to use scissors on a chicken to clip its feathers? Look, I don't know about you, but I killed 3 chickens. I'm certain in the real world I would have feathers. Probably should have killed one and then checked instead of, murdering them all. I scared the poop right out of you. Oh. Huh? I could explain. I drank their milk so that my bucket would be empty, so that I could go milk another one, because I wanted their poop, and it's turned me into this creature. Drinking more can't make it worse, can it? Maybe it can. The good news is we got the poop. Bad news is I'm a hairy, ugly beast. And I like how the helmet's sticking out and you can see my armor coming through. And I'm running in slow motion. Whoa. Oh. All better. I have more of the milk though. We almost have enough to get our harvest trophy. We have literally every single thing except for fish. And honestly, fish are very slow going. I've got about 10 different traps and I've been checking it every couple days. And from this last time of checking, this is how many fish I got for checking it for 2 days. So that is 5 fish from 10 traps over 2 days. And so it is a very, very slow going process. Alright, but while we've been waiting for those fish traps every morning, we've been working over at the Mega Base location. You can see that we have a ton of chests now. All of these are full of cold dirt. And we even started another row back here. This whole row is full of shale cobble, and we've started filling up here. And then we've got the marble there. We're starting to do some cobble over here. And you can see from up here that we have done a ton to just flatten this landscape. It is still up by this tall, and so we still have quite a huge chunk left. Now, I am not planning on continuing to do this for the whole mountainside. I'm thinking it's gonna go till roughly about here and meet up with the natural terrain. So we're gonna stair step this up here, so it'll be nice and flat down here, and then slowly get back to the normal height as it goes over here and on this way. Let's break things up a little bit though, and let's go in and let's start working on this. I want to test in just a section if we were to do the color transition. So maybe we'll start right here and test putting the lighter colored blocks at the top. Yeah, I think the texturing really does help this mountain feel a little bit more real. So we're definitely going to have to go through and do this everywhere. Cool. And we're going to take this magma block and we're going to come in here where it's its darkest as well. And I want to fill in some of this section with the magma block. Yeah, I like that really dark spot there now. We'll see a little bit later where we could add some more dark spots. But let's go ahead and do our texturing in over here. Nice. That actually made a huge difference. I can't believe for a second I almost debated about not doing this at all. I'm definitely glad we textured it all up. I'm thinking that we're gonna actually utilize this huge chunk. And let's put some of the Hanok Village over here too. I'm thinking like the poorer houses here, the ones that are tightly gone back together, side by side. And then the bigger ones that have like the individually fenced walls with lots of quarters for servants and stuff like that from the nobles. They'll be up there a little closer towards the where a palace would be if we ever do decide to do one. We'll have to make some kind of pathway up. Now, we already talked about sloping this side up to this level. So maybe when we do that, there's like a bridge of sorts that goes over and around and up here and joins that kind of thing. So I'm thinking we finish digging out this area and we start with the poor people housing and we work our way slowly up towards the expensive housing and stuff. Okay, we're going to get started on the first one of our Hanok Village. It's going to have a base of this shale cobble first. So this first Hanok Village we're going to build is going to be a little bit bigger than the rest of the ones that we build. And that's because this one is actually based off of the Hanok Village that me and my husband stayed at when we went and visited South Korea. And so this one, I just had to have it somewhere in here. It's not all super fancy, high and mighty to go up there, but it was obviously still like a hotel style one, and so it is going to be a bit on the larger side. But, you know, if there's visitors or travelers coming into this particular village, they'll need places to stay and stuff too. So we'll just treat it as an inn as well. There is the outside. I'm over here right now in my creative testing world, and this is where I've pre-built this first Hanok house that we're going to do, our inn, and I'm going to take you through a little tour of it. You come kind of through the wall, and you're still outside, actually. There's this nice little open area where you can see the sun, and this was what it was like at the inn my husband and I stayed at. This was kind of like a garden area with lots of plants, and it was just really pretty. And then, of course, all of their actual rooms are up a level so that you could tuck your shoes under. And I believe back in the day, they used to have fires or smoke or something, and that's how they would keep it warm. But modern day, we have electricity. And so they warm up the floor, which was really nice since the bedding is like right on the floor. If you came in through this door, there was kind of like a little dining room table thing here where we could sit down and enjoy our food. And then there was an indoor bathroom over here. The shower is kind of just, it's not like in America where it's separated or there's a bathtub or anything. It's just the whole bathroom kind of is free shower room, and the sink was right over here. So whenever you entered into the bathroom, you came with your shower shoes on in case the person before you had taken a shower and there was water inside of here. And so your shower shoes kind of just stay here. And then over here we had a little kitchenette where we could put some stuff in the fridge or prepare anything. And then this was the room that my husband and I actually stayed in. It looks small inside of Hytale, but it really was a good size for the two of us together. And there was like this one window where these like curtain things, they were down, and it was locked up, but there was like the ability for it to be opened up if you had like a bigger family and you could share with this room over here. And then this room, I had a door. These doors were locked the whole time, and I want to say the owners slept here and lived here. And then if you peek through the window, you could even see like a watch shop over this way. I didn't, extend and go and do anything that way. Just the room here. And then there was another guest room over here to the side. And then another guest room over here. And then there was an additional bathroom that was outside over here in this area. And so yeah, this is what we're going to go ahead and build in Hytale. I'm going to be honest, I've already put up the walls in Hytale and totally forgot to record. So we're just going to jump to that being finished now. Okay, I went ahead and changed up the floor plan a little bit too. Just because I had built it based off of the Hanok that I obviously went and saw, but that's also modern day time. And I really want this to feel like it's the correct time period that these would have naturally been built in. And from what I know is they don't actually sit down at like dining room tables like America. That's very Western. So having this dining room table thing was nice for her guests in modern day time, but not very traditional for back then. And so these stools are actually where they're going to be having their food and eating. And so those are inside the rooms. And candles are going to be their only source of light in these rooms. And so we went ahead and turned these rooms into just more. There's no laws and rules about how many bathrooms per guest staying in the olden times. So we just have the one singular bathroom. There's no running water or sink to wash your hands. No shower place, because that's not normal. You need to do that. There's a river. We tried to detail a little bit in front of that house too. We've got a little canopy thing here just to add something. I just don't want it to look so plain. Like if we look at the sides, they're just big blobs and there's nothing breaking it up like windows or anything. And so it just needs little details like what we have in the front going around to help it feel more full and stuff. But yeah, I like that we've got a variety of different kinds of rooms too. Like this one's clearly like really large. If you wanted, there's some extra beds here if you wanted to rearrange the room and how you're sleeping and stuff in here. Whereas this one is the most worn down looking one, and it's the small one. It's the cheapest place to stay the night. No more space than what you need for a singular person. Whereas this one's also for a single person, but it's lots more space and room. And a variety of different kinds. This one is again a single, but there's room for a double. A little cramped, but the nice thing is you don't have to share. It's not adjoining to anything. We need to get some flowers and stuff in this area, liven this up a little bit. And then I also want to make this kind of the food area and stuff. So we'll get some kind of food making things. You see along here we added some lights, but there's nothing else really too much going on in here yet. I'll have to sit and think about what I want for that, because honestly I can't think of anything at the moment besides storage for whoever works here at the inn. In fact, this room might in fact just belong to the inn worker, since it's separated from the rest of them as their little spots. We're going to pretend that these have padlocks on them to prevent the guests from going back here. And then the innkeeper who lives here can go back here and store some of the food and supplies and blankets. And maybe we'll put like a little wash bin back here. And they come and do their chores. Like they're going to have lots of beds to wash and stuff. Or in fact, maybe we put that out on the side with the little clothesline. I tried to find a way to get the clotheslines to look like they're hanging off of these kind of poles. But it doesn't work because these are centered and the cloths are not centered. And so it'll have to be full blocks or something. So maybe we'll try something like that over there. But my inventory is very full, so we need to go drop off some stuff and let's go ahead and do the plants next, though. Okay, we detailed this place up a little bit. We've got some room for preparing some food for the guests and some food even on this table. They're using this outdoor space and stuff. And there's some drinks in some of the rooms. We have some writing utensils there. Not much, it's just a touch. We added some paintings in just a couple of the more expensive rooms as well. And you'll see these little pots down here. These are for warming the floor, like we said, so that this is how they stay warm, because it is snowing all the time around here. It's cold, and so we just need one more to put over there. And we added this little storage place behind the gated area. Just some stuff back here. Nothing much. But I really like that. I think that this completes this little area, at least inside. It's all detailed up nicely, minus the one missing pot thing there. And then we want to do a clothes line out back kind of thing, maybe a chore area over here. Alright everyone, we went ahead and finished up a little bit of the outside. We've got this soil pathway. I wanted it to look not like at our place where it was intentionally like rock placed down, but instead for this one I wanted it to be like a worn down pathway from the people who've just been walking here for too long, that the grass doesn't grow in this spot. And then we added some wood. They need lots of wood to keep the floor warm inside, as we've seen before. And then over here we've got a little washing area. She can come up here and use this basin to wash the bedding. And then there is a small little rice garden just for providing some rice for any travelers that are coming. It's not a full like restaurant by any means, but it's just you've got a weary travel that's come late at night. The least you can do is give him a little bit of rice and stuff. And so I think that's going to finish up this build, and until we start working on more of the Hanok Village over here in this clearing. I've not put anything on this side of the house at all yet, just because I'm not sure if there's going to be a building, next to this, or how much space. Also, it's really tight at the moment, and I still need to chop down all of this mountain. So we're just going to ignore that for now. But I think that really finishes up this area, and it looks really nice. There may be just trees that go up over here, or more houses. We'll leave putting trees up and terraforming all of this until we determined where all the houses are going to go and stuff like that, so we don't have to redo any of our work or anything. But I'm really loving this area. It feels like it's full of life inside with all the little details and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm so excited to get working on the rest of this Hanok Village with you guys. We just have one last thing that we have to do before we can end this episode, and that's our trophy. Yes, that's the last fish we needed. Now we finally have 100 fish. It took so long. It wouldn't have taken so long if it weren't for all of the trash and other junk that you get from the fishing things instead of just giving me fish all the time. Look at that. We can make it now. Finally, an artifact of immeasurable value, at least to those who see it that way. Its form reflects the favor of the Orbis avatar. Oh my goodness! Yay! Whoa! They're so cute! You can turn on and off the effects that it gives. That's so cool. Perfect. Now he's got a little buddy. Yay. Oh, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.